What's up guys, this is Kitcher93 here with the video review for the Waterfall mod. Now you guys might be confused when I say that and looking at the title, and the reason why I have my title the way it is because I believe this is not an actual authentic original Waterfall mod. I believe it is a Waterfall Kamsa mod, mainly because the barrel, if I look at it carefully, does look like a white Kamsa body, which is different from the original body, which is a Super Pirat body. And because that this is a Waterfall Kamsa mod, it is a little bit cheaper if you want to order it. If you want to order it, go to penwish.com. I'll be putting a link to that website in the description below. But penwish.com, sells this pen, I believe, for $14.99. So $15, not a bad price at all for a pen mod that is this good. Now, if you want to buy the original body, which the original bodied mod, it will cost you a little bit more. It costs you about $3 more at $17.99. So 18 bucks for the original mod, 15 bucks for this mod. Whichever, I'll be giving my input on how this mod feels with the Kamsa body. So if you guys feel like you want to be a little bit daring, go ahead and buy the more expensive version, which is the original version, and go ahead and do that. But I'll be basing all my opinions off of this mod as it is right here, right now. So you guys have been requesting this tutorial mainly because you've seen me spin this in a lot of videos recently. And that is very true. I do like this pen, and that is why I'm spinning it. I was also fortunate enough to have this pen given to me by Storm, so go ahead and check out his channel. I'll be putting a link to that in the description below as well. Really nice guy. Go check him out. So this pen obviously is a DC pen, which means it's a double capped mod, as you can tell, which means that it comes pretty much balanced as you can get it. As you can tell, my pen is pretty much in the middle, or my finger's in the middle of the pen barrel, and the pen is balanced quite nicely. Of course, that comes with the fact that the Kamsa body is pretty well balanced itself, and these caps are exactly identical in the way that they were built. Just to take it apart real quick to show you guys, this is obviously the part where the marker tip would come out, and then this is where the back plug is, I guess. Plenty of Teflon tape on there. That is the one thing that I don't particularly like about this mod, is that you kind of have to keep adding Teflon tape to the sides over time. It's not too frequent, but it gets a little bit inconvenient when you start to spin and then you realize that your cap's starting to come off and you have to push it in because you didn't put enough Teflon tape. But of course, if you put in the right amount of Teflon tape, it will be nice. The only problem is that if you put too much, you might crack the cap a little bit. If you put too little, it'll just slide off. So you have to kind of fine tune how much Teflon tape you need. And each of these, both of these caps, I'll give a close-up shot of this, maybe in a picture-in-picture, but you have a signal tip here, and that will give it plenty of weight and momentum for this mod. You have a Pilot Dr. grip here, and I believe these are cut. I don't believe these are the full grips. I could be wrong, but I believe that this is a cut grip here. And this is a Reynolds 094 cap, I believe. So if you make two of those and pop it on to a white Kamsa body, you have your Waterfall Kamsa mod. And of course, because it's DC, I do like it. I pretty much only spin DC mods because I'm not really that good at adjusting to the unbalanced of an MX or a G3 based mod. So I do like the fact that it is very balanced. It's very smooth when you spin it. The barrel doesn't have any writing on it, so that won't catch on to your fingers when you're spinning it, and it does feel quite nice and quite smooth. Also, when you're spinning it, you have these rather large grips, and these are Dr. Grip grips, as I mentioned before. So you will get a pretty decent area to spin on if you are the type of person that does plenty of wipers. And speaking of wipers, the good thing about this mod is that the signal tips don't protrude that far from the tip. And how this relates to wipers is that sometimes if you have a pen that has rather large tips, I'm not sure what type of mods have that, maybe a Dr. KT, but if you do a wiper, the signal tip doesn't bump your fingers at all because it's not that big, and so you don't really notice it. It's there. It hasn't bumped my finger once when I've been doing a wiper. And of course, these really large grips, at least compared to what I've been spinning, which is on my Buster, then these also give a pretty darn good grip when you're doing those tricks and combos where the pen is near the tip of your fingers. So those are a lot of things I like about it. It does spin pretty darn smoothly. It has plenty of weight and momentum to do the things like the power tricks, which a lot of people think that you can only do power tricks with a buster. But I will tell you that, as a matter of fact, I actually bust better on this pen than I do on my buster because my fingers are capable of pushing the pen around my index finger when I'm practicing busting. I still can't do this that well, but it's a lot easier on this mod than it is on my buster because the buster has a lot of momentum and weight to push around. And even though it might look easier with the buster, it actually is quite difficult, and I found that is why I am not able to bust very well. So this actually carries plenty of weight to do plenty of tricks and plenty of combos. You can definitely do power tricks with this pen. A lot of people think that because this is a Signature tipped and not Airfit or Dr. Grip tipped mod that you can't do power tricks on it, but if you're good enough, you can do power tricks with any mod, the light ones, the very light ones too. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the video review for the Waterfall Kamza mod. Everything about this mod is pretty darn stellar, with the exception of the fact that I do not enjoy putting Teflon tape on my mods all the time. But other than that, it is a pretty darn good pen. I'm not sure how much it weighs, but the length, I will put that in an annotation below somewhere. But my hands aren't abnormally huge. I think mine are about 19 centimeters. I could be wrong, but last time I checked was 19 centimeters. This pen might be 20, 21-ish centimeters, so it's not that long of a pen at all. Of course, if you have a smaller hand, then that will look kind of odd. It'll be kind of like this on your hand. Or if you have uber big hands, then this might be a little bit smaller for you. But the rule of thumb is that if the pen shouldn't protrude much more than an inch above when you put the bottom of the pen at your wrist. It shouldn't extend more than an inch or so above your middle finger. And also, you should be able to spread your fingers, your pinky and your thumb out like this, and it should fit relatively well into between your pinky and your thumb when you do that. And that's how you know how it's a good mod. So this is a pretty darn good fit for a mod for me. Again, plenty of momentum, so I would definitely recommend this for pretty much anyone minus the very, very, very new spinners that are just being introduced to the fundamentals and so on. But once you master the fundamentals and some of the more advanced hybrids, I would definitely recommend this. Of course, if you're a beginner and you have spun very light pens in the past, this will feel a little bit heavier, so wean yourself on it. Don't just jump immediately into this, as it might hurt your fingers. If you're used to spinning a heavier pen like I was, which was a buster, then you might have to adjust to that, but that comes with switching to any new pen mod. But I would definitely recommend this. On a scale of 10, I would have to rate it like a 9.8. That 0.2 only goes to the fact that I don't like the Teflon tape causing the pen to slip off, and that is a very, very minute thing that I can fix pretty easily. I just don't like it. So 9.8 out of 10 is a pretty darn good thing, and the price isn't too shabby either. 15 bucks for this one and 18 bucks, I believe, for the original. Pretty darn good price for a pen that I will be spinning for quite a long time. So thanks for watching. This has been the video review for the Waterfall mod. Feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Post questions below. I'll try to get back to those as soon as I can, and I will see you guys in the next video.